So my nemesis would be the air fryer. To be fair, it works, but they're so small. Like the last time I tried to do a chicken thigh, it barely like it fit, but there was one piece. You can cook certain things, yes, but hey, after a while you still have to clean the air fryer, right? The only thing I say like the air fryer can't work is for seaweed chicken because no one sells seaweed chicken. I bet you up on that. Welcome to another episode of Food for Thought. My name is VK and this is another episode on the Dabao show. Today we're going to talk about kitchen appliances that will make your cooking at home easier. This is granted that number one, you like to cook or you want to cook. Of course, you have your basic necessities as a stove, induction or fire or not, and then you have rice cooker, just the general things that you want to have at home. I'm just giving a couple of pro tips or like, you know, additional equipment that I think that you might want to consider to have so that, you know, you can try more things or like just make your ease of cooking easier. But first of all, let's talk a bit about, you know, cooking at home. I think I know a couple of us who don't cook at home or probably can't cook. That's one thing. Another thing is that like I know cooking at home can be a mess, you know, parents nagging at you for being messy, or you know, maybe the kitchen ends up in a different state than what it was according to cleanliness standards, and that frustrates people sometimes because I guess the lack of opportunity of cooking, which I guess is why people end up baking. Cooking can be fun, yes. I think there is a bit more to clean, but it's part and parcel, right? You can't stop sweating when you jog, right? Same thing, you shower after that. The first equipment I'm going to be recommending about is a hand blender or a immersion blender. Used in a lot of kitchens for sauces or emulsions. I think it's useful to have at home. It don't just come with the blender. For this set that I purchased on Shopee, it's the Cornell brand. I'm not very brand specific, some people are. This Cornell brand comes with the whisk attachment and the small food processor. So this hand blender, I would say, like when it comes out to making soups of the western flavors or whatnot, sometimes when you boil everything into a pot and you know, you don't really have to transfer them to an entire food processor to blend. You can just pop this in, turn it on, plug it in, and then, you know, just blend it to get a pureed thing. We do this for some of our purees. Even you can use them for making hummus or whatnot. There are many brands on Shopee or online wherever you can check. You can take a look some at our Harvey Norman or whatsoever, but I just went with this because you know, it's just a trusted brand. You guys can just check the link in the description below or check out other items as well, man. There's so many online to choose from, but this is just the one that I use. So the next item I would suggest is actually an oven. It can be a countertop oven or, you know, a built-in oven. I know people have like toasters, probably one of my worst enemies, the air fryer, microwaves, which we'll get to in a bit. The oven, I feel, for general purposes, if you like to roast stuff and things, I think it's a good fix. Also, it does help keep food warm, especially if you're cooking like bulk and batches. You can just set it to a lower temperature and then like put your food in. I do believe most houses will have some form of enamelware or like glass plate where it can like tolerate the heat. You don't need to set it at like 160 or like, even aluminium trays can fit as well. Speaking of trays, which comes to the next part of ovens which I support, is the trays. Most of them actually are stainless steel, but they are of a different quality and coating. Some of them can be thinner, some of them can be thicker. So like for this one, it's pretty thin. Usually we use these for like maybe holding of food. It could also double up as a resting tray when we rest your meat. Sometimes small trays do help set your portioning for, say, maybe this is going to be my food for tomorrow, I'm just going to reheat it. And we got like thicker trays. So once again, I'm not sure if the camera can pick this up. It doesn't look like much, but it's a lot more thicker. Usually these we get for, say, heating action, because sometimes when the trays are too thin, they tend to warp, especially to extreme heat. About like your 200 degrees or whatever. You wonder why sometimes, you know, when you're, say, blow torching or what, and then the tray warps, or when your metal warps, is probably because the metal is too thin, or the stainless steel coating is maybe just on the outside, there's not enough stainless steel inside, which is why you probably pay more. I do get the thicker one from Shopee, it's on the link as well. I think it does help. It has lasted the test of time. I have abused it a bit in the shop, so you know, it works. It comes with the tray, the rack as well, so if you're cooling down, or sometimes you want to bake things slightly above, you know, with like your potatoes or whatever below, it works too. The versatility is all yours to choose. Some people even they like to put their steaks on top and create like this airflow with the wrap. I would say get various sizes. Number one, the most important thing, storage, right, at home. Make sure they fit. It feels so good. So good when they all stack like that. Usually for home ovens or countertop ovens, they aren't that big, so you don't even need to get too big a tray. I mean, let's be honest, unless you're planning to fit no, actually you can still fit an entire rib in the oven, so I think it should be fine. But obviously do things relevant to your oven. I've seen some people who know how to use the oven really well. You can actually just flash everything in the oven. I think if you roast your chicken or do your fish, you prevent yourself from frying on the pan. As mentioned earlier, the all-true Chef Mike.
Chef Mike. Chef Mike. Chef Mike. Chef Mike.
Chef Mike, it was good knowing you.
I don't have one. Honestly, I can see its use. I even tried cooking rice in there before without rice cooker. It works. I know there are some rumors or news going around about the radiation of microwaves, which is why some households don't have. I don't know too much about that. I'm not going to go deep into that. For its purpose, all-purpose and uses of defrosting very nicely, it works. Especially if you forgot things on the fly. I do believe created for its function, it works. Reheating is a bliss. Sometimes it works even better than a steamer, and it works better than, say, refrying. I would think about getting a microwave for the sake of making popcorn in the back. That's probably my best use of it.
So one of the more simpler things I do at home, if I don't want to mess up the kitchen, is an aglio olio. And it's not a recipe video, okay? But what I'll try to do is to show you guys how I can make this without causing a mess in the home kitchen. So first off is a cold pan, and that's crucial because we all know, right? If your pan is too hot, that's when the oil starts splashing everywhere, and that's when the cleanup starts, and that's when your mother starts to scold you. So your chili and garlic, add your olive oil in there. So you don't want it too hot, you're just toasting it, getting all the goodness into the oil, infusing the oil so that when you coat it with the pasta, that's when you get really the good flavor, I guess. Okay, now that it's done, you just leave it here to cool because you don't want the oil too hot. You need it to cool down. Because you know, right, when you put the pasta in, all the pasta water will go in, and if it's too hot, all the oil will splash out. I mean, obviously if you have two stoves, you can do it simultaneously, but I don't, so I'm just gonna put this aside to cool and then go ahead with my pasta. Right, so now pasta is done, get it off the heat, then you bring your sauce back in, and this is where it comes together really very fast. You gotta be quite quick. So get your pasta, put it into the pan. Okay, now season, let's go with some salt and pepper. There we go, aglio e olio, and as the Italians say, sono affumato.
Next up, the blowtorch. For all you people who love aburi sushi, there you go, just get one and do it at home, right? You can get your sushi from Don Don Donki, Cold Storage, whatever you want to get, and then you tap it in with a tray. This is why they come together, right? As I mentioned earlier, it's good for finishing some parts of say a roast chicken. It doesn't roast properly at certain ages. You can finish up with the blowtorch, or I'm going to say the forsaken words, mentaiko.
In every corner, you freaking have salted egg something, you have a mentaiko something.
Just cut. Melt cheese, or sometimes when you want brulee something. Yeah, the blowtorch is quite versatile when they flambe something at home. Yeah, it works. Get a proper one, get a decent one. I'm sure some people even have the butane can at home because of we call it a hot pot stove? Portable stove, yeah. So it doubles up, you can share the gas anyway. That's a good way to use up the gas. And yeah, trusty. Last one up is about pots. We're not going into that whole stainless steel, non-stick. There's enough video tutorials online to tell you what to do with a stainless steel pan, or which one is superior. Get different sizes, different heights. Like this one, perfect for Maggi mee. You can get some of the lower ones. They're good for semi-tossing. So if you need toss things around like a frying pan, these kind of things work. I tend to actually sometimes shop from IKEA a bit. They have the non-stick or the stick version. Go for the 365 range. The 365 range has a better collection. The standard one, which are very cheap. Bro, there's a reason why they last you that long, okay? So don't be too cheap on these kind of things. The other pro tip that I do want to really mention is about getting pots with lips. So these are the lips that rim around it. To me, it's way much more preferable, especially when you're pouring sauces out. The liquid actually just sees around here and it doesn't drip overflow. Obviously, sometimes it still does. It's not 100% guaranteed, but it's a bit better than stuff like these, which are fully flushed, clean. Also, on that, you don't have to often clean the sides, especially for people more so with fire cooking. You know, when you have like that bit of gravy and your fire is still going on, you tend to smell that burning smell. For induction basis, I guess it's easier to just wipe around the edge and plonk it back on. When you keep your equipment clean while you're cooking, there's actually way lesser to clean. You'll be thanking me later when you don't scrub that like gunk off as you burn it off your side of your pot. So these are my recommendation, or at least some of these things I still do have at home. I have at the shop and I have at home. You know, I think it does make my life easier when I tend to cook at home. You guys can check the link in our description. See if you guys want to get some 11-11, just around the corner. Maybe you get a good deal. There are some more things that we can recommend, but at the moment now, you know, all these I think just came to the top of our head when it comes to like cooking at home at least. So if you like this kind of content, just let us know. Do give us a like and subscribe button. Where's it? Here? Somewhere lah. You guys get the point lah. Let us know if your cooking experience did get better. By the way, I'm not gonna tell you how to cook still. Right? I'm out.